I take my rightful place at the head of the table. Believe that.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morning Knows Podcasting Network. You are live with Jim and Rod, and we are talking WrestleMania Night 1. It is the best and biggest time of the year, Rod, and you are extremely happy because what everyone thought was going to happen, then didn't think was going to happen, actually happened. How excited are you for your boy being at the top of the card?
Well, I mean, Jimmy, we had to try to pull off a double turn, right? I mean, we inducted the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin match into the Hall of Fame this weekend, right? So we had to try to pull off a double turn, and we saw a bit of one there. You know, we saw some low blows. We saw a callback to the Shield. We saw the rightful man climb to the top of the WWE ladder. He told us on Friday Night SmackDown all the reasons why he should be at the top. Roman Reigns is a part-timer who only cares about himself. CM Punk is a jerk who talked down the WWE and only came back because they gave him a huge contract. And Seth has been here the whole time, putting his body on the line, putting it out for the fans. I'm happy.
I thought it was a pretty nicely done end to the match. You know, when Heyman climbed in the ring, you knew something bad was going to happen. And then when he did the whole tribal chief, you knew something else bad was going to happen. And he did a good job. And my son Jackson multiple times said he even went back and forth on Roman Reigns. He went back and forth on him, which apparently does, you know, it makes it worse, Rod, when that happens.
Yeah. Jackson, as always, is in simpatico with me. I enjoy Jackson Jamriska's takes. He was quite perplexed by the Nas Reed sign that was in the crowd. Is that
something like, I don't know, is that something else other than Nas Reed?
I have zero idea. I mean, I know the Minnesota Timberwolves looked absolutely fabulous in their game versus the Lakers, absolutely blew them out at home, but we're not here to talk about that. That's the only thing I know about Nas Reed. I have zero idea if there's a double meaning to that whatsoever, but who cares? We saw Seth Rollins win. We saw Jey Uso win. We saw Tiffany Stratton win, unfortunately.
Yes.
We saw the New Day become the heel of all heels. It was a big night.
You know, and I think the match order, I think, went well because each match I thought was a little better than the next. The Gunther and Jey Uso match was, I just thought it was weird to me, Rod. It was fine, but I didn't get that, like, I was expecting a little more out of it. I'm really happy for Jey Uso. Obviously, it's a culmination of a long career, and he gets that title shot. But then also Gunther tapping was weird,
completely weird. I don't understand how we're gonna come back off of that. I mean, Gunther has been an ass kicker his entire time, right? His whole thing is that he's almost unbeatable. He's only been pinned on his back a handful of times. And he's going to tap. And I mean, I guess everybody taps now and again, but he tapped like 6 seconds into the sleeper. That was the thing that got me weird. I mean, we've seen guys hold sleepers back in the old school days for like 2 minutes, you know what I mean? And then the arms would drag down or they'd pull themselves over to a rope, and Gunther has a sleeper slapped on him for 6 seconds and he's done. So it was a bit of an abrupt ending. I don't know if maybe they said, hey, you guys got to get out of here because they, you know, with timing and all that, but I don't know. It was weird. I'm happy to see Jay win like you did, but way surprised that Gunther tapped as quick as he did.
You think Gunther has one of those like things he put on your face when you sleep, and he didn't have that? And he was worried if he went to sleep he wouldn't have that on. Maybe that's the case.
Gunther could have sleep apnea. I'm not sure.
He could.
I don't know all of the medical updates of the Ring General, but perhaps if we could get Ludwig Kaiser on the horn here, he might be able to help us out. Those guys are pretty good friends.
It affects millions of people, Rod. Millions. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know where we go with Gunther from here. I really don't. Like if he loses that match in a regular way, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Jey Uso's a top of the card kind of guy, but that tap, I don't know. Something's got to come from that tap. Do you think Gunther's gonna try to say something that he wasn't tapping? I'm really perplexed by that.
I am too, and I wonder if this is just kind of getting Gunther out of that title picture for a while, just to freshen things up a little bit, have him go down the card. and see what happens there. I don't think he's had a title rod for 79% of the time he's been in WWE. So I don't think that's gonna continue for very much longer.
Yeah, I would say, Jimmy, let me ask you this. What was the match that surprised you the most? Was it that match or was it perhaps another?
The match that surprised me the most, I think, was the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair match. I thought they did a very good job. Now, listen, I do got to call your girl out. Stratton's face was nasty. She got hit hard a couple times. Black eye. Her face was all kind of swollen. But I thought they had a relatively good matchup. Had some good moves in there. They wrestled better than I thought they would. So I'll give it up for shocking. I know your girl, Charlotte Flair, the queen. Shocking. She stood up. I was worried about Stratton though in that match.
Yeah, well, Stratton can't wrestle, and Charlotte Flair basically just proved it by beating her in the face. Tiffany Stratton absolutely deserves it. She's the one that went low blow first. She's the one that brought up the 3 divorces and then rolled out of the ring. She's the one that accused Charlotte Flair of bullying her. I mean, I lost a lot of respect for Tiffany Stratton in the lead up to this match. I lost even more respect for her when she popped out of a Barbie box. So Tiffany Stratton, congratulations to you. Michael Cole can try all he wants to say that you're on the fast track to a Charlotte Flair career, but Charlotte Flair, you are not. And Charlotte proved it in that match. But this is scripted, so she was told she had to lose, and she did, but she got her shots into Tiffany Stratton on the way.
How about you? What was a match that surprised you, good, bad, or either way?
I was kind of surprised that El Grande Americano won. I really did. I was kind of surprised that he won. With the way that Rey Fénix has been built up, with the way he has been dominant in his 2 singles matches, with the way he was basically the only guy to get an intro into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal other than Shinsuke Nakamura. Then in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, he was screwed, which is the WWE parlance for, hey, this guy's really, really good. He didn't actually lose. So I was surprised to see him go down. I understand that he had the thing in the mask and the metal plate and all of that, but I still was kind of surprised that their decision was to take Rey Fénix down.
First of all, it's a quick tangent here. We do need to pour one out for Montez Ford, the winner of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You got about 6 months left, kid.
Not Montez Ford, Jimmy. Not Montez Ford.
Not Montez Ford. Wow. Carmelo Hayes.
Yes.
Wow.
But you are correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sad.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal wins do not mean great things for people. Bronson Reed injured himself quite severely and hasn't made much out of it. Baron Corbin won it back in the day, no longer with the WWE. Cesaro won it back in the day, no longer with the WWE. Madcap Moss won it a few years ago and then was gone very short time after
Your boy?
that. So
your favorite wrestler, Bobby Lashley?
Oh, Robert.
Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant.
I forgot that Robert was the winner and he is now gone too. So yeah, sorry for Carmelo Hayes. Him and Andrade put on another banger. I don't know about the decision to have those 2 guys at the end of that Battle Royal. Why not just have them fight in a one-on-one match again and actually solve the best out of 7? But yeah, Carmelo Hayes, your time in WWE is done, my friend.
So it's weird. This is one of 2 of 3 matches really that are affected in WrestleMania, because I think this match went exactly like it would have if Rey Mysterio was in there. You just put a different luchador in there, obviously with a couple of twists here and there. But I think the ending is exactly how it was going to be. Yeah, having Fénix lose this early, but he lost under nefarious means, and I love how they did that. When he kicked him in the face, initially I thought he hurt himself too with his ankle or something, the way he fell. I'm like, oh no, he kicked him in the face. His foot hurts. That's fine.
I couldn't believe that Pat McAfee was the one who picked up Michael Cole there. I've spent the last couple of weeks of trashing Pat McAfee, and Cole basically blew it. And then McAfee was like, no, Cole, the metal plate in his mask. Remember, that's why his foot hurts. And then Michael Cole was like, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, I mean, I guess Rey probably wouldn't have won because Rey doesn't really win very often anymore. But let's talk about Rey for a second. What are we doing? Why are we putting a 50-year-old man in a match the night before he's supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania? I don't understand the decision behind that at all. He then has a move put on him by a young wrestler, which is another trope in the WWE, that these young wrestlers that are a little too green can sometimes hurt the veterans. And it did seem as if Julius Creed yanked him out of the ring and Rey wasn't quite ready for it and busted up his groin. So, just like we had, what's the guy's name? Ridge Holland, right? When he did the move on Big E, didn't quite do it right. And Big E's never wrestled again. So I just think that was bad booking by the WWE to stick Ray in a match the night before he was supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania. What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame because that was cool, and I'm glad Gable had a chance to.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was about to cut you off. That was El Grande Americano. Chad Gable was backstage.
From the Gulf of Mexico, but then it was like when he was actually
Jimmy. I don't want to get in any trouble with the current administration. It is the Gulf of America.
This comes on the heels right of a pretty big announcement. I know you're not really big into Mexican wrestling, and neither am I. But there are two huge promotions in Mexico: CMLL and AAA. AAA has kind of gone down a little bit, just with the economy and everything like that over the past decade or so, but. The acquisition of that means they're going full force with this. So I expect a lot more lucha matches. And now, Rod, this can lead up to a huge mask versus mask match against Rey Mysterio.
I just want to clear something up real quick before I touch on luchadors. I don't want to get in any trouble with the current administration. It is the Gulf of America, Jimmy. I don't want to get in any trouble with the current administration. You called it its former name. So
well, but they said when he was born, it was known as the Gulf of Mexico. And now it is the Gulf of. It's a whole thing, Rod.
Well, again,
McAfee went over that too.
I'm going by current regulations. I'm going by what Alicia Taylor said in his entrance to the ring, and she said the Gulf of America, and that's what it's to be referred to as. I don't want to be excluded from the White House press briefings the way the AP is, Jimmy. So we will refer to it as the Gulf of America here on this podcast.
Phoenix had a couple really nice moves in there, and a great WrestleMania debut for him and Chad Gable, his WrestleMania debut. Let's go! I'm very excited that both of them were able to have a good match out there. Might have been the match of the night. Actually, we need to talk about that. Need to think about that a little bit more.
You're not worried that we might be getting a little too much luchadori though here, Jim? You're not worried about that a little bit, that we've got so many luchadors that it's hard to tell the difference between Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix and Penta and Rey Mysterio, and now we're going to have other guys coming up from AAA. I mean, you're not a little bit worried about that?
They all have different looks, though. I think we'll be okay. I really think we'll be okay on that. They're unique enough, so I think that's good. Jade Cargill and Naomi. Now, I know you're not a big Jade Cargill fan. You've got to be impressed with a couple of those moves, though. That jump into Jade Cargill, and she just caught her and did a suplex, was amazing. And then that reverse power bomb was pretty good too. But as you brought up in some of the text threads, she needs to work on her timing a little bit more.
A little. You're being very generous to Jade Cargill.
She was playing possum. Which was a pretty nice try for. It was either McAfee or Cole. Pretty nice try to make up.
To cover for her. Listen, I'm not going to come on this podcast and tell people that Jade Cargill isn't strong. Clearly, Jade Cargill is absolutely strong, but strong isn't enough to make a good professional wrestler. Okay, need I say the name Ahmed Johnson, who just got brought up recently in an interview by Triple H? He got killed by.
He's not going to the Hall of Fame anytime soon.
No,
he's not going in the Hall of Fame anytime soon.
That guy was strong as a brick shithouse, and he wasn't good as a wrestler at all. And there's been many other dudes in the WWE who have been strong and aren't good wrestlers. So Jade Cargill, first thing I'm going to say to you, go back to the mullet. All right, the mullet hair was way better than whatever wig they had you wearing in this match. And second, figure out a way to move between scripted moves a hell of a lot better than you currently do. I'm sorry. There was even a time where she didn't even kick out of a pin. Naomi basically let her up out of a pin because Naomi was smart enough to know she wasn't supposed to go down there. That's why Jade doesn't ever get to wrestle. Get her in dark matches where people aren't watching her. Get her down in the performance center where nobody's watching her, because if they want to make her the big star that they clearly do, she is going to have to wrestle a hell of a lot better than she did in that match. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed by feats of strength.
Okay. New Day and War Raiders. I want to say Viking Experience all the time, but New Day and War Raiders had a solid matchup. Really good power moves by the War Raiders. New Day wins on some nefarious means. I like it. Let's go. I think it's good for both teams.
It's definitely good. The New Day, they have parlayed all of their goodwill into being the most dastardly heels we have seen in the tag team business since the Usos, probably, right? I mean, they're the most dastardly tag team we've seen since the Usos. Also, we need to pour one out for Ciampa's beard. Tell me that you saw that. Did you not see this?
Yeah. Sorry, you froze us right there. What did you say?
Shout out to Ciampa's beard if we're talking about dastardly tag teams. Did you see this?
Yeah, holy cow. Wow. Yeah, Ciampa's beard Something happened. He said he fell or something like that. He just cut his chin wide open. Had to cut his beard off. He looks a lot younger. Love the Instagram post they did on that too.
Yeah, but those guys are a dastardly tag team. That's what brought me up there. But yeah, the New Day versus the Viking Raiders, War Raiders. See, now you got me doing it. Versus the War Raiders is a match that can be tough, right? But when you see Ivar doing some of the things that Ivar can do, you have to be absolutely amazed every time by that guy. I mean, it's amazing. And shout out to them for being able to have the belts for a little while, get a WrestleMania match. Shout out to the New Day for solidifying their Hall of Fame resume. And listen, it's the time of heels, Jim. It's the time of heels. Seth Rollins has decided to be a heel again. The New Day as a heel.
Is he a heel, though? Because that's a lot of singing going on in that arena.
Well,
so we're going to have to work on getting these people not to sing his song.
How is he not going to be a heel, though? People still chant freaking CM Punk's name all the time. People sing Roman Reigns. People do that all the time. They were doing it while Seth was talking to him on Friday. He's definitely becoming a heel.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be a heel. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think that it's something new, something fresh. Let's go. How about Jacob Fatu and LA Knight? I thought they had a very good match, really hard hitting. LA Knight stepped his game up a little bit. Fatu's amazing. Fatu gets the win and is just over like no other. So I think that's terrific. I called it from day one. I said that Fatu was going to win. I don't know why you picked LA Knight, Rod. That was wishful thinking on my end, and the right call was made.
Yeah, Fatu is just he can't be beat, right? The crowd loves that guy. He's basically going to have to be a heel now. We're probably going to see a turn on Solo Sikoa to solidify more of his this faceness. Excuse me, I misspoke there. He's got to be a face now because the crowd loves him. He's probably going to turn on Solo to solidify that. Good to see Haku down, giving him the love.
Yeah, always nice to see Haku.
That was cool with the family, right? Jimmy in the ring after J1 was cool, so it was nice to see some of the family connections there. But LA Knight impressed me. I've come on this podcast many times and talked about how he's not necessarily the greatest wrestler in the world. He just is a hell of a talker and full of charisma, but he wrestled his ass off in that match. It was really, really good. I'd put that up near the top.
It was a good one. Yeah, I mean, I thought the main event was a good match. I mean, it was long, it was cool, it had a lot of end. I don't know. I think it's either going to be LA Knight and Fatu or Americano and Phoenix is the match of the night for me. I think I'm going to go towards Fatu and LA Knight.
That's what I'd vote.
Okay.
That's what I'd vote because there's just as much as I love Seth and as much as I love the turn at the end of the match, there was just a few too many kickouts. I mean, come on. I mean, are we just going to take everybody's finishing moves away? Is that what we're going to do? You know what I mean? There was just a few too many kickouts in that match for my liking.
I really do want a match where there's no pin at all until the very end. Just something different. It could be a 35-minute match, no pin.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You can put them in submissions, stuff like that. But yeah, there was so many kickouts on that. And even at the end, it's like, he's not going to kick out. Punk's not going to come in and do anything here. Right?
I was a little worried about that, to be honest. But he did. He took like, what,
well, because Heyman was still in the ring sitting down. Yeah. So I think this was a good night one of WrestleMania. Nothing really stood out as, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. What about the 540 or whatever the heck El Grande Americano did on Phoenix? Oh my goodness, that got me up. I'll tell you. Wow, that was awesome.
You and I have been singing the praises of Mr. Gable for a long, long time, and he's proving now in his new character that he can do even more wrestling moves than we've seen Chad Gable do before, because that was amazing. It really was. So shout out to that guy. And you know, sometimes one move can be enough to put a match near the top, and that's really what it was. That move almost is what made that match for sure.
So night two, I'm expecting. I want a lot more from night two. Night one was a nice little precursor, but night two we're going to start off with the triple threat match, which we're going into with some negative thoughts, but I think the matchup itself will be good. It's got to be different than this main event. Let's not get two people out of the ring for 20 minutes and then come back in. I think the second match is going to be Styles and Logan Paul. They're going to have some high flying. Everything is going to be good in that. And then we've got another mystery partner with Valkyria and against Morgan and Rodriguez. Who's that going to be now? What's going on, dude?
Well, first I would ask you, is Bailey really hurt, or is this just a work?
I don't know. It's so weird that I don't know. I don't know. I learned about it when you learned about it.
That's a bummer to me because Bailey's been a pretty good soldier ever since WrestleMania of last year. She really has. She's been down and fighting in NXT. She's gotten a lot of people over, and it's a bummer if they're just pulling her out of WrestleMania to put in Becky Lynch, countrywoman with Lyra. She was around Vegas earlier doing that comedy thing.
Well, yeah, she was the Hall of Fame, obviously. Her husband's in the main event tonight, so we'll see what happens there. And then we have the Orton against a mystery partner. Dude, there's a chance. There's a chance.
Listen, Jimmy, say his name and he appears. I want to see it so bad. I do not want to see Rusev, who was shouted out by our guy, the Crippler. There's absolutely that will get boos. I mean, that will absolutely get boos, or even worse, just no reaction. So it better not be Rusev. To me, it's either got to be Sammy or it's got to be Joe Henry. I don't see anybody else that makes any sense.
I agree with you completely there. Hopefully it's one of those two. And then Cody Rhodes and John Cena, I have a feeling a lot's going to happen.
Like what?
A lot's going to happen.
John Cena can't go
I don't
anymore.
know. That's the thing.
John Cena can't go anymore. Let's just tell everybody right now. Don't expect to see John Cena do anything cool. He can't go anymore. So what possibly cool can
It's
happen?
Not going to be a 40-minute. It's not going to be a 40-minute wrestling match.
Definitely not
at all. But there's going to be a lot of. I just think there's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors in this match.
So are they going to go? Is the opening match going to go for 40 minutes? Bianca, Rhea, and Io, or is it going to be Seth and Damian that get a good 30-minute match? Somebody's got to get longer than if Cody and Seth aren't going that long. Or I mean, Cody and John aren't going that long. Somebody's got to be the longer
Cody
match.
and John. Styles and Paul could go a decent amount.
Styles is like
47. the 4-way, the fatal 4-way is going to go long.
Nobody wants to see those guys in the ring for that long.
Dominic Penta and Finn Balor, they're going to go long.
Nobody wants to see those.
And
guys
I
that
think
long.
the first match will go long.
Nobody wants to see
I will
that.
say I was able to drive 5 miles out and 5 miles back in between the Pin and the Charlotte Flair match and CM Punk walking in. Jackson timed it. He said over under at 15. I took the over. It was 16 minutes and 40 seconds from the time whoever came out first. I wasn't here for that.
Seth
but
Rollins.
Whoever came out first, Seth Rollins, when his music hit to when the bell rang, it was 16 minutes and 40 seconds.
There you go. Seth Rollins brought out a flamethrower wearing a big black cloak. Then he threw off the black cloak and was resplendent and white and all hit with the spotlight. It was very, very cool because everything Seth Rollins does is cool.
And everything we do is cool as well on the Morgan Podcasting Network. This is TMYK Live. We are usually live every Thursday, but next week it's going to be Tuesday and Thursday, I think, because of everything going on. But every Thursday around 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. And we talk wrestling, we talk NBA, we talk gambling in the NFL, and kind of whatever else we want to talk about here on the Morgan Podcasting Network. You are listening to TMYK Live.
Shout out to the old man Chris who fell asleep on us.
You know what's funny? But he actually fell asleep.
Yeah, no, he really did. We're not joking with you people.
He's not like 90. He fell asleep. Chris,
we told him the other night that we were doing Saturday. He was excited about doing Saturday. And then in our group thread, we noticed that he was out for a little while and he clearly has fallen asleep. Chris, you are old. Way to live the gimmick.
I take my rightful place at the head of the table. Believe that.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod. And we believed, we said his name, and he appeared, Rod.
Oh, man. They were excited in London and Canada and Mexico. Oh, Jimmy.
America and Scotland.
And,
all of them.
All over.
Yeah.
Everyone was surprised. I was excited. The biggest pop out of me all night long was for Joe Henry, a man who lost, Jimmy, a man who lost, gave me my greatest joy.
That was awesome. We were a little worried it was Rusev, but then apparently Lana was at a hotel pool party thing. I'm like, okay, because I think they're going to bring them both back together because they should.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then it's just like, oh, do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. I scared the crap out of my dog. My dog was ready to fight someone. Like, Daddy, let's go. Me and you, we're gonna take on the world. Who? If someone's coming in our house, I'm eating them. I don't even care. She was ready. Jackson, like 3 times in a row, said, "You were so loud, Dad. You were so loud." I popped. This is what makes wrestling fun. It really is. For those of you watching who aren't wrestling fans, maybe on Facebook, one of our friends or something like that, it's like watching a movie and something you want to have happen happens. It's exciting. It's fun. And it happened. And what a great year Joe Hendry has had.
That's the thing that I love the most, right? Here's a guy who figured out a gimmick for himself, worked that gimmick nonstop, and made something out of himself, right? I mean, here's a guy who fights on TNA. I don't even know where to find TNA programming. I don't even know what night TNA shows air, but I know about Joe Hendry, and he got a huge rub by fighting the Legend Killer, a man who's been at WrestleMania 20 times. Joe Hendry got to come out at WrestleMania for probably one of the biggest pops. I would say that his pop was probably bigger than Becky Lynch's return pop, and that's crazy.
Yeah, I think Dom might have gotten the biggest pop of the night.
You're right.
But no, Joe Hendry, it's something that doesn't happen, but it's happened twice now. And when Triple H is tweeting out, say his name and he appears, like, that's amazing. Let's keep it going. Okay, now he's done these 2 fun things. Let's whatever they want to do with TNA, rock and roll with that, and then get him on the main roster and do some big stuff. He got all his stuff in. He had Randy Orton mimic his move, Rod. That's awesome.
He sure did. And Orton was bopping his head when Joe Hendry was coming out to the song. Everybody was waving their hands from side to side. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Joe Hendry. I'm not surprised that our normal podcast partner, the old man, is again unable to join us after another late night WrestleMania. But I'm happy he's not here because he doesn't get Joe Hendry. He comes on here and he talks Joe Hendry down. He doesn't believe in him. And so I'm happy that he's not here to rain on our parade because, damn it, that was my favorite moment of WrestleMania. I understand there's huge moments last night and big moments we're still going to talk about yet tonight. But hands down, my favorite moment of WrestleMania was Joe Hendry coming out.
The choke slam spot was funny as well because that's one of Joe Hendry's big things is choke slam. And Ryan's like, no, and just pokes him in the eye. And didn't say I'm poking you in the eye out loud like John Cena did many times in the main event tonight. This tonight is the reason why there's a 2-day WrestleMania. Because before, these 2 shows equaled what one of the WrestleManias was before. So it literally would have been minute for minute yesterday and today together, and we would have been exhausted and ready to go home and tired. And this time it felt like a quick WrestleMania tonight because it was like, what, 3:45, something like that. And it was banger, 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 banger until the very end. The Cena match was so slow, meant to be slow, but still was pretty slow. I thought this was one of the best WrestleMania nights we've ever had.
Wow. I think that's a pretty bold call. But we do have a record breaking performance, right? We can say what we will about John Cena. I'm wearing his hoodie from back in the day when he was a good guy, but so that's definitely a thing, right? We didn't get KO exactly. We got Joe
Hendry. But
we did get Joe. So that's good. And I suppose you are correct in that we saw great matches this evening, right? The women's triple threat to start was incredible. I think the Priest McIntyre match was incredible. I talk down Drew from time to time on this podcast just to get after Chris, but that man is an amazing wrestler. He can do things that surprise you, and his back has to be the strongest back in the WWE. The things that he can take on his back. I mean, when he did that, the DDT onto the stairs, that had to hurt Drew more than it hurt anybody else. That was insane. So shout out to Drew McIntyre. As much as I hate saying that, shout out to Drew. And then we had another huge moment. You mentioned it, Dom. That's gigantic.
We were talking about this a little bit in the couple minutes beforehand, but I think it might have just been all the fans were like, you know what? Yeah, you deserve it. Good job. You've had a great run over the past couple of years. Let's go. Built-in feud with Braun Breaker because he didn't lose it, with Penta because he wasn't involved, and obviously with Finn Balor. Judgment Day, don't really think they're going to be moving forward with that as a unit as they have been in the past. But Good match too. Good match. Breaker's insane. He's unbelievable.
Oh, taking Carlito down from jumping from one table to the other was awesome. So, and now we hadn't seen a table break in quite a while. We saw 2 go last night, and then we saw another one go tonight.
Yeah.
So, they were saving it for WrestleMania. I appreciate that.
Okay, so let's kind of. Oh, and by the way, John Cena won, 17-time world champ. That's like 6th on our list, right?
Yes, certainly is.
Couple things with the main event, I guess, is just the fact that The Rock didn't plan out that he could be at WrestleMania or be to the up, going up to WrestleMania, just does not make any sense to me why that happened. They turned Cena heel in a very epic moment, crowd was still behind him today, but you expect that kind of from a WrestleMania crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I think winning the way he did is good just because it shows him he's going to be a bad guy. And Pat McAfee's got an interview with him tomorrow, and he's probably going to say, I'm going home. I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely is saying I'm going home, but I'm with you. We got to come down on Dwayne for this. We really do. Like, don't involve yourself in the Cena heel turn just to be part of a moment if you can't then follow through on it. It's just absolutely weak sauce out of the guy. It is. You're filming some movie that nobody's going to care about because nobody's giving a shit about any of your last 6 movies, and everybody would have cared about this moment, and you couldn't even show up for the company that you have a hand in. You make huge money off of this company sitting on the board, Dwayne. What are you doing? You got enough money to get on a private jet, to get on a helicopter.
Scott coming down, I get that he's popular and everyone, loves Travis Scott. It was a nice moment for Cody to get back at him, but Travis Scott coming out is setting up for The Rock to come out, right? I mean, that's what that is. And it really just, it kind of fell a little flat. But he did sell the Crossroads a little too well, I think. Cody's like, get the hell out of the ring.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair is an amazing opening match. And this is another match, Rod, just like the Damian Priest match with McIntyre that we were like, could have been better. Would have liked to see the one-on-one. They proved us wrong here. I mean, we knew it was going to be a good match. I didn't know it was going to be, I think, the match of the night. Got to look at it real quick, but I thought that they did such a terrific job with that, and I am so excited that that everyone was involved the entire time. That is how you do a triple threat. I hate it when they have 2 people wrestling and have one person over in a corner for an hour and a half. It did not seem that way. They were all intermixed together a lot of the time, and it was quick, fast paced. Io Sky gets the win on a really good move. Love it. Loved every second of it, Rod.
I was a little worried at the beginning because it seemed a little too choreographed there as we were first getting going. You could tell some people were having to stop and wait, and guys were supposed to be getting on their back and things of that nature. But I became Chris for this feud, as you guys know. Like, I have turned on Rhea Ripley. I have no time for her anymore. I did not like the way that they put her into this match. I do not like the way that the crowd just absolutely goes crazy for her and all of the licking her lips and all of the crazed eyes that she does to the crowd. I don't like it. I don't like that Bianca Belair is now a fan hater. Like, everybody just hates her. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what Bianca ever did to have anybody hate her. I mean, I get people get stale, but to me, it's not Bianca being stale that she's getting booed. For some reason, everybody just turned on her out of nowhere, and I don't understand it, because I think Bianca Belair is a hell of a wrestler. Yeah, I think she cuts a great promo, and I think she does things the way that they need to be done, and she's now hated for it. So I loved when she basically told the crowd to kiss her ass. So it's time, Bianca. If the crowd doesn't like you, let's turn heel and let's just run roughshod through the women's roster, because
So you're saying instead of hugging... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, other than Rhea Ripley, Bianca can absolutely wear out any woman on that roster. So let's go. Just start scorched earth Bianca. Let's go.
So maybe instead of coming out and hugging and kissing her stepdaughter, she just throws her through the plate glass window and just goes full heel, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying she has to do anything to her stepdaughter, but I mean, I'm ready for her to turn, right? Like, maybe we don't have to bounce down to the ring anymore. You know what I mean? Like, let's just
walk down with her name down the ramp only in all dark.
Yeah, or let's cut the ponytail. Let's cut the ponytail, right? Let's maybe do that. You know, let's not have the ponytail be around to be whipping that anymore. Like, if everybody's gonna boo you for doing exactly what you've always done and used to be a fan favorite, then just say screw you. Like, basically what we just saw out of Cena, right? Have Bianca take a turn out of Cena and be like, all I've ever done is give it up for you people, and you boo me. You boo me. Rhea Ripley cheated her way into this match, and you love her and you boo me. I'm ready for scorched earth Bianca.
Rhea Ripley with the vampire makeup on tonight, by the way. That was a white,
Too many
white
masks.
face that she had.
Too many masks. Why is everybody wearing masks when they're walking down to the ring? What's that about?
The mask thing is a luchador thing, which you love, I know. Of course, Finn Balor's not really a luchador. Finn Balor usually wears some kind of mask to WrestleMania, if you look back at it.
Yeah, but Cody wore a mask. Rhea wore a mask.
Well, Cody always wears that mask. Yeah.
I don't need it.
Priest and McIntyre was just, hey, you don't care about us? Fine, screw you all. We're gonna just take this and have, again, possible match of the night contender with Damian Priest and McIntyre. I loved the finish to that. The Claymore kick with the chair was done excellently.
It sure was. Here's my only problem with that match, and this is me being a bit pedantic here, but if you're gonna give me a Sin City street fight, let's maybe at least get out of the ring and into the crowd. Or maybe have them start out in the street or something, right? We basically had a Sin City street fight that only occurred in the ring. I didn't like that. We could have called it something else. I really felt like we
match, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, also, Jimmy, you're in Vegas, right? You're in Vegas. Why not have them fight on the strip? Figure out some way to do that. You're WWE.
There needed to be a slot machine somewhere involved. Yeah.
But it was a great match. That's going to be my contender for match of the night because it sure as shit ain't the main event.
No, Braun Breaker, Mysterio, Penta, and Balor. We kind of already talked about most of this stuff here with Breaker just being unbelievable.
I like that they didn't elevate Penta this fast. Even though I picked Penta, I like that they didn't elevate Penta this fast. It's good that we can still get a more gradual walk up for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll be good. And then it sets up the feuds, for the next year with Mysterio. So that's great. AJ Styles, Logan Paul. It's funny. If you look at it on paper, solid match, great match. Had a lot of good things back and forth. Our boy Rod made an appearance. I'm not talking about Jeff or Jerry or whatever the hell his name is. Karrion Kross made an appearance and tried to help.
But he's going to get blamed. He's going to get blamed. And we got an AJ Karrion Kross feud coming, which is great because give Karrion Kross some more TV time in actual matches. Sure. I'm ready for that.
Pulverizer is a very nice end of the move there, but where does Logan Paul go from here? I'm trying to figure out, Rod, where we're going with Jey Uso now. Because like we talked about yesterday, Gunther may be a matchup at Backlash, maybe. But do you want him to lose again right away because he's going to have to? Or do you throw a Drew McIntyre who just had a big win? Or do you throw a Logan Paul at him who just had a big win? I don't know.
I could do Logan Paul. I could stand having Logan Paul be on our TV screens a little bit more than showing up as a special event pop. That would be cool. I could deal with the Drew McIntyre. I could deal with the Damian Priest, right? I know he just lost, but Damian Priest, we could have a run with him. I suppose they're on different shows though, aren't they? I don't even remember. Is he on Raw or SmackDown?
Hey, there's going to be a draft coming up anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That's a good point. So yeah, I like that. It's just we worry a little bit too much, I think, about future storytelling. You and I do, right? Because we like the our time spent to pay off, right? That's what it is with you and I. We're like, hey, we're watching this shit for 6 hours a week. Make it worth our while. And too often they just throw stuff together. So we'll see. Everything's gonna, how it is. The Raw after WrestleMania is important. Everything's gonna come out of tomorrow night, probably.
There will be a lot of big things tomorrow. I think Aleister Black's going to debut. I think Rusev might debut tomorrow.
No, they already told us that Black's doing 425.
Oh, no, he's SmackDown. He's SmackDown. I'm sorry. That's right. Rusev will be tomorrow then. Yeah, that's right. Randy Orton and Joe Hendry, again, a 3-minute match, but everything that we needed in there got in there. Joe Hendry over with 60,000 people. He was over with 70,000 people in Indianapolis. We were there for that. And I think I was louder for this one. I'm not going to lie. And I was pretty loud for that one.
We knew he was coming in the Rumble. Like we knew he was coming.
Yeah,
in the Rumble.
We knew that was happening. We were, I'm not going to, Rod, Pete Dunne, DIY, Joe Hendry at WrestleMania. What else you want from me? What else do you want from me?
Here's what I want from you. When we make these things happen, can somebody win? Right? DIY.
Damn it.
Ciampa loses his beard. Pete Dunne becomes Pete Dunne and barely shows up anymore. Joe Hendry gets 3 minutes and loses. Can we get a positive outcome? But you're right, Jimmy. Our power in the wrestling world is now being felt, and I appreciate that. And here's something else. We've been going for 15 minutes now, Jimmy, and we haven't even mentioned Becky Lynch's name other than once, and she is a huge, phenomenal star.
Yes, and the man was back today. That's a transition, Rod. That's why you're the best in the business here, because we did have Liv and Raquel come out, and the reaction that they had to Becky Lynch coming out was also priceless because Liv was scared shitless, and I love that.
She does that so well.
Lyra Valkyria does a good job in the ring. Just real quick. Good idea with the wings on the arms. Just didn't work out. It's okay. Wings on the back could have been a little bit better. It's fine. Calm down. I saw a lot about that stuff. It was whatever. It was, 5 minutes beforehand. Becky Lynch coming back was great.
They were ridiculous, Jimmy.
They were, but
absolutely
calm down.
ridiculous.
It's fine.
She looks like she should be on Sesame Street wearing those things, and now she's got 2 belts.
Yeah, Lyra 2 belts. And Becky comes back and gets a tremendous ovation. That was cool. I mean, I think everyone kind of knew that she was coming back, but still, that was a cool moment. And she's now right in there. Where's she go from here? Oh, wait, she's a tag team champion. So she's got all these tag teams to go against, Rod. She's got the Will Liv and Raquel, and then
well, I mean, I guess Bailey could get herself another tag team partner. I got to pour one out for Bailey. All she ever does is exactly what they want her to do, and they just completely jobbed her out of WrestleMania.
She's hurt, Rod. She got injured in the back.
Sure she did.
Yeah.
Sure she did, Jimmy.
But Becky looked great. I mean, she looked great. Everything was.
I was happy she won the belts because I was a little worried that maybe she'd come back and it'd be a one-off. But now that she's a tag team champ, like you said, we're certainly going to see a little bit more of her. So I'm excited.
Yes, because
about
those are defended all the time.
Yeah.
The tag team belts there. And then we have our main event, Cody Rhodes and John Cena. So this was definitely a John Cena main event match. Very, very slow, but it was a heel Cena, so it was even slower to start with. Did not like the pacing of the match really at all.
You didn't like seeing John Cena call it out as the match was going along, is what you're saying, Jim?
Dude. Whatever. He's the best. What are you going to do?
Why is he so pasty? Honestly, why is he so pasty? I mean, has he said in his career that he's against tanning? I don't understand why he's so pasty.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or orange. You got to pick one or the other. It can't be just have a nice even tan. You know what I mean? It's WrestleMania, so it's either nothing or orange. The layout of the match, Rod, I know we've already been going for 17 minutes, but a super... How many super moves are we kicking out of? Okay, how many top rope stunners? How many super attitude adjustments? How many super whatevers are we just going to kick out of? Like, I get it, but also that was a lot.
I mean, it's a lot in every match, Jimmy. This is a new scourge that we are dealing with, where basically everybody's finisher is now just completely washed away anytime they fight in a match that's supposed to be a big deal. Like, why are we supposed to care about anybody's finisher if every single Tom, Dick, and Harry wrestler is going to kick out of somebody's finisher during a match? What's the friggin' point here? I don't get it. When you and I were kids, finishing moves were absolutely sacred. Okay, they were sacred. The minute somebody dropped a finisher on somebody, you knew that was the end of the match. And now they're useless. It's basically the same way that kicks are now useless. Super kicks are basically just like a punch to the face now. They don't matter anymore, and we're doing the same thing to finishers. I don't like it, but I'm sounding like an old man here.
Well, but you know what? It's funny because this is cyclical like everything else in wrestling is. I've had these conversations before. There was a time, years ago where this was happening. And then Vince McMahon, who was in charge at the time, obviously came in and said, nope, not doing any more of it. And then it never happened. And then it came back again. So, I mean, it's up and down. We're at a crest right now, or we're at the valley, depending on how you feel about it. I think that hopefully we're going to get back to let's calm down with kicking out of every super finisher.
I mean, like you said, we're hitting them off the top ropes and people are still kicking out of them. I have a real big problem with that. And Jimmy, if you'll allow me before we close up shop here,
sure.
I have one more problem. I don't have a problem with hearing the glass break and Stone Cold Steve Austin driving an ATV and crashing it into the barrier. I don't have a problem with any of that. But I have a problem with the only way you can figure out getting Stone Cold Steve Austin out there is to read the friggin' attendance. Come on.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to tell you one thing. That person they didn't get hit, but they were up against the barrier and the barrier hit it, and you could see the person go down. They're going to be sitting in the front row for a long time at WWE shows. So, I mean, when Nick Khan is there and he's the guy talking to you, you're doing okay. I mean, on the ticket it says on the ticket it says you die. We're not liable for anything, but yeah.
But that you could see that woman was a little bit spooked. You could see that Austin had to spend a couple extra seconds to be like, "Hey, my bad.
Come on back. We'll figure something out." Yeah,
that he was driving a little too fast. I mean, I know that he was driving one of those things in his recent appearance on Stephanie's Places. We got a lot of Stephanie McMahon this weekend to try to hype up her podcast and her show.
Yeah. Oh, and then, hey, there's a writer's room show coming on now. What the hell is that going to be?
You used to say there basically was no writing, so I'm going to be interested in a little while to see how that goes down for at least an episode or two.
I'm intrigued to what they're actually going to do. I mean, is this just like, are the writers like, oh, great, now we have to film a whole nother thing that we're not actually doing, but we want to show them what it looks like? Is that what we're doing now?
Will it be
Yeah, that's
kayfabe?
weird.
Will it not be kayfabe? You know what I mean? Like a writer's going to be playing characters. It's going to be funny to me.
It could go any which way. Big week for the Morgan Podcasting Network. We did WrestleMania Live yesterday. We did WrestleMania Live tonight. I believe on. Wait, are we doing something Monday?
We're gonna have an interview with a basketball interview. I don't know if we're going live or not.
We won't go live for that. Yeah. So we're gonna have a basketball interview live. Throw that on Thursday. On Tuesday at some point, we're going to also record. Softball may get in a little bit of a way, so I'll get with you on that one.
What? What?
Well,
Shocker!
I know, shocker.
We're gonna have a new.
Hey, the only reason we don't have softball today is because it's Easter, just for the record. So.
We're gonna have a new wrestling voice. That's exciting. We're gonna have a new person join us on the Yeah We Know show. See if we can get somebody else who might be able to rotate in and talk with us, because apparently, Jimmy, we have to start worrying about our other co-host and his bedtime. So it might be good to get somebody else in the rotation.
It will. And then, of course, Thursday we're talking NFL draft, NBA playoffs. Was a scintillating day of NBA playoffs. I really think, Rod, if you were and I played on the Grizzlies, they wouldn't have lost by any more. Like, legitimately, I don't think they would have lost by any more.
The Pacers are getting jobbed, by the way. Pacers Bucks get moved to NBA TV Tuesday night. Oklahoma City, Memphis absolutely deserves to be the NBA TV series for two reasons. Oklahoma and Memphis are smaller markets, and that game was a complete friggin' travesty. The Pacers Bucks series has spice, it has big time stars, and it's probably going to be a much closer game. But Indiana always getting the shaft.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod.
62,719 solid ass cats.
Well, 18. The lady got run over. Goodbye, net. Yeah.
We shouldn't even say that. Chris can't even bother showing